The noun is controversy, and the adjective is controversial. First, let's take a look at the dictionary definition on here of what is controversy. According to dictionary.com, controversy, noun, 1. A prolonged public dispute, debate, or contention, disputation concerning a matter of opinion. 2. Contention, strife, or argument. Origin, 1350 to 1400, Middle English, controversy, from the Anglo-French, from the Latin controversia, equivalent to controverse, U.S.? Wait a second, I don't know if that is U.S. or what U.S. is supposed to stand for. Equivalent to controverse, I don't know, turned against, I don't think that U.S. stands for United States. It stands for something else in this dictionary, and I don't know what that is. Turned against, disputed, contro, variant of contra, against, plus versus, past participle of vertere, to turn. Okay, so it's against, turning against. Controversy is turning against. Related forms, pre-controversy, noun, plural, pre-controversies. Synonyms, 1. Disagreement, altercation. 2. Quarrel, wrangle. See argument. Okay. So that's what dictionary.com has to say about controversy. Oh, more down, scroll down. World English Dictionary says, a dispute, argument, or debate, especially one concerning a matter about which there is strong disagreement, and especially one carried on in public or in the press. From controversus, turned in an opposite direction. Word origin and history, blah, blah, blah. Very similar, that's about it. So, controversy. Now, why is it that we, as a society, shun controversy? To say that somebody has said something controversial is supposed to be, that's a terrible bad person that said that delved into that controversial topic and delved into controversial statements, made controversial stuff. Why is that such a thing to be feared? Controversial. To be able to debate, to disagree, to quarrel. Example sentence. Let's see what this is. We believe that part of the reason behind this steep learning curve has been the lack of controversy about teaching comprehension. Next example, they added fuel to the controversy rather than exhausting it. And third, we cannot expect to remove either from the So here it is. Controversy is disputes, arguments, debates, especially concerning matters about which there is strong opinion, carried out in public and in the press. So why is it that we as a society are supposed to be horrified and paranoid about controversy, about arguments and disputes carried on in public? And people will do anything, seemingly, to try to avoid controversy. And anybody who has made any statement that's considered controversial is somebody we have to be afraid of and distrust and suspicious of, just because he said something that somebody else disagrees with, that somebody else doesn't like, expressed an opinion somebody else didn't like, or discussed a topic about which there is strong disagreement, especially in public or in the press. Now, I've been accused of being controversial in the past, and I will continue to be accused of being controversial as long as I continue to speak in public. Why? Because I say things that other people disagree with. I say things that other people don't like. And those people that dislike the things I say, those people that don't want the things I say to be said, to be heard, to be spoken, or to be heard at all, especially in public or in the press, wish to suppress those things, and therefore they brand me as controversial, and as if that is an automatic labeling of me as a bad person because I said something that they disagreed with. Well, I will continue to be controversial as long as I continue to live and speak, because I believe in open and honest discussion, because I believe in the search for truth. And if we do not discuss things openly and honestly, we are unlikely to arrive at the real truth. And those people who do not want us to arrive at the real truth, those people who want to perpetuate lies rather than truth, are going to object to the search for genuine truth. They're going to object to open and honest discussion of those things that they do not want discussed openly and honestly in public and in the press. And therefore they have to brand anybody who dares to venture into those areas of discussion as being controversial. So in other words, the whole attitude that we have about the word controversial is that if you're speaking in public, as long as you keep everything trivial, chit-chat, everything is simply about how's the weather, and we don't go into anything that might be perceived as controversial, where people have strong opinions, and people have strong disagreements. People talk about the weather because that's something that generally people can more or less agree with about. Because why? Well, because the weather itself is pretty obvious to most of us. If you have discussions about the weather, for instance, online, where people are speaking from all different locations around the world, then there will be disagreements. But even then, there is a general understanding that however different the weather might be in where you live from where I live, we understand that the weather is variable around the planet, and that is a natural thing for the weather to be different where you live than where it is where I live, than how it is where I live. And that's generally accepted and acknowledged. And so, even though there's complete differences of the weather that we report, we recognize that it doesn't mean that anybody's lying. But on the things that are called controversial, usually somebody's lying. And usually the people that are lying are the ones that don't want the open and honest discussion to take place in the first place. It's a threat to them, and they will defend themselves in their own manner against that threat that they perceive to themselves. And the best way to do it is to label the other person controversial and say, well, the problem is that this person is being controversial. The problem is not that we're lying and that this person is trying to bring out the truth, that this person is trying to present the facts that we're lying. No, the problem is that this person is being controversial, and that being controversial is a bad thing. So that's a little discussion about the word controversial, and why I will always be controversial, because I believe in the search for truth and open and honest discussion in order to arrive at that truth. And the people that are generally in power are the people who are generally promoting lies and don't want an honest, open discussion of to search for the truth. And that's why the people that generally are in power are not in favor of open and honest discussion in general. They only make tokenary gestures, pantomimes, pretending to be promoting open and honest discussion, but it's all rigged. It's all severely restricted and limited and rigged against anybody who actually has anything to say against what the people in power want to have being said, especially in public and in the press. So it's natural that those people are against controversy, are against public disagreements. And it's natural that those people are against public discussions. Whereas somebody interested in the truth wants public discussions and dialogue and open and honest communication. Vote for me. Thank you. Vote for me. Seriously. Or lie in the bed that you make. If you're satisfied with voting for the same old lying crooks who don't even allow you to really speak up on the issues and treat you like you're some piece of filth under their feet, when you are in fact the one whose taxes are paying their fucking outrageous salaries, or honorariums that they call it. They call it an honorarium when these people collect $1,000 or more a month just for standing there bossing you around and telling you that you don't have the right to speak, and telling you that you don't have the right to disagree with what they want everyone to believe, and you disagree with them in public and in the press, and they're going to try to smear your reputation for daring to do so. If you want to vote for those kinds of crooks, well, enjoy it. Enjoy the results, that you will reap what you sow. Voting is your sowing, and you reap what you will sow. You will reap what you sow. So if you vote for crooks, you will reap the rewards of having crooks running your fucking government. It's up to you. It's always the choice is up to you, and to live with the consequences.